What's happening, everybody? Dr. Joe here. Hope each of you are well and blessed. The restaurants are part of the problem. Listen up to all of you individuals who are living in industrialized countries. You're in the West, you're in Europe, you are in Australia, you are in developed countries where you have access to not only market foods, but restaurants. Here in the United States, which is where I live, we have restaurants on every corner. We have restaurants are probably the most abundant, plentiful business that you can see. There's food everywhere. There's fast food restaurants. There's sit-down restaurants. There are grab-and-go restaurants. There are fine dining restaurants. There are corporate restaurants. There are family-owned restaurants. There are every type of restaurant you can think of. You'll see it in abundance in the West. And the reason why the restaurant business thrives so well is because of how busy we are as a community and as a culture. And when people are working all the time, when people are trying to keep food on the table, when you've got two-parented homes that require both the husband and the wife to work, when you have people who are in business, people who are busy, it's easier to get away from how our ancestors lived when they were farming, when they were growing their crops in the back, etc. So people are getting to the point to where they rely on quick food, not only from the grocery stores, but restaurants. It's easy for me to eat breakfast at a restaurant. It's easy for me to eat lunch, go to a buffet, go out and work, not pack my food. And people don't mind spending more money for convenience. But let me tell you something, the restaurants are a major part of the problem. This particular commentary is not specifically isolating one particular restaurant, but saying our overconsumption of restaurants as a culture is really creating a lot of the issues that we have in terms of our poor health. And I got a couple of reasons that I want to bring to your attention as to why. Number one, the portions are too large. You see, the restaurant game is trying to get you to come back. And the way to get you to come back in America, you have to provide large portions. You got to feed folk a certain amount of portions to where they're full. And ideally, they're able to take something home. Because when you're in America and you have a little piece of chicken, which is the normal size of chicken, that isn't packed full of all types of steroids and all types of feed that are harmful to these animals to where they're almost too big to even walk around. But that's a whole different presentation. When you have these small portions and you give that to an American, they're going to complain. They're going to feel that they're gypped and they're not coming back. People in America need huge portions. And what's happening is slowly programming us to think that what we order in a restaurant is the appropriate portion for a human being. And it is not. The vast majority of portions in any restaurant are probably 3 to 4 times the amount of calories that you need to be ingesting at that particular time, not to take away all of the other things that are a part of it. So number one, when you're going to restaurants, you're eating too much. Off the rip, default, you can automatically say that. Number two, when you go to restaurants, you got to make it taste good. How you make something taste good? You put fat in it, you put salt in it, and you put sugar. Everything from those biscuits, that bread that they bring you, and you have the bread all the way to the dessert, the sweet drinks is packed full of fat, is packed full of salt, and it's packed full of sugar. Those are the 3 trifecta foods that create the endorphins, the feel good, the things that make you feel that this is satiating, that I'm enjoying this, that I'm getting so much pleasure out of this. All right. So it's tons of fat, salt, and sugar, which means what? Tons of calories, tons of oil, and tons of things that I don't need. All right. 3, restaurants encourage what I am calling a feast mentality. Think about it. When you go to a restaurant, what do? You go to a restaurant, let's say it's one of your favorite restaurants, and you go with your coworkers, or you go with your husband, you go with your wife, you go with your boyfriend, your girlfriend for a quick lunch. You sit down. The first thing that you do, they bring what? Bread to the table. All right. They bring garlic bread. They make cheese biscuits. They bring any type of bread that has a slatherable butter that you love to eat a part of it. So here you are, you're chewing on probably 600 calories of bread and butter before the what appetizer comes. So what's an appetizer? That's the food before the food. So what are you getting for an appetizer? Well, you just ate 600 calories for your biscuits, for your bread, for your butter. And then they're bringing out what? They're bringing out Caesar salad. They're bringing out dressings. They're bringing out all these different salads that have more calories than hamburgers. So here you are slathering up all of the creamy blue cheese dressing, all of the Caesar salads that's packed full of fat, salt, that has croutons and cheese and all these different things. All right, so not only did you have 600 calories for the biscuits and for the slatherable butter and bread, but here you are probably another 1,000 calories in on the salad. That's the appetizer. So here you are 1,600 calories in. Now here the entree comes. What did you get? Did you get a burger and fries? Did you get a steak? Did you get chicken? Did you get the salmon that's on top of mashed potatoes? Here's another 1,000 calories. So you had the 600 calories for the biscuits, the slatherable butter, and the bread. Then you had 1,000 calories for that little Caesar salad that had croutons and cheese. And here you are. You're eating your entree. You're eating your 1,500 calorie burger and fries. Here you have eaten almost 3,000 calories. Then on top of that, you have to wash it down with a Long Island iced tea. Maybe you got a Coke. Maybe you got a Sprite. Maybe you got a Shirley Temple. All right, whatever it is that you did. But you just not only ate 2,000 calories, but you probably drank another 500 calories. And then they come out and they bring you a dessert list. Oh, I'm going to eat let's split a dessert. Oh, let's get a cheesecake. Let's get some chocolate cake. Let's get some strawberry shortcake. Well, that's another 1,000 calories. We split another 500. You've eaten enough calories in one meal, ladies and gentlemen, that a grown person who should be able to eat in one day, assuming that they're out working, burning those calories off. You're doing that for breakfast. You're doing that for lunch. You're doing that for dinner, day in and day out. No wonder we have an obesity problem. No wonder our blood mimics that of oil. No wonder why we have hypertension. No wonder why we have diabetes, because restaurants is a major part of our culture. All right. And if you're going to optimize your health, you're not going to do it within the confines of frequently going to restaurants. You're not. All of what I'm talking about, we teach people in the 40-day tournament. We teach you how to make those adjustments, even though we're busy, even though we're living busy lives. There's a way to do it properly when you have a strategy, when you have education, accountability, and motivation. And I forgot what other things I was going to say, but what I did just say is complete fire. And I hope y'all are listening to the next time I see you. Peace.